Hey guys, what's up? So, just want to make another quick video that just sprung to mind, and it's the importance for throwers and just athletes in general to do bodyweight exercises. There's a couple reasons why. One, the most primary one, is because bodyweight exercises help strengthen your tendons and your joints and your ligaments, and those help protect your elbows, your knees, your ankles, your wrists, and especially if you're a thrower, you kind of need those to throw. And that not only will help you stay healthy, but it'll also probably help you in the weight room, because your joints are the leverages that make you bench and make you squat and make you do like lifts. So strengthening those will in turn help you strengthen your muscles. Number two, the reason why you should do bodyweight exercises is because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you can squat 700 pounds if you're super slow and you can't actually move your body. When you think about it, like a lot, especially shot putters, most shot putters are like, 260 plus, 260 pounds plus. And you got to think, a lot of people are really strong, are really strong people and can like lift super heavy weights, but you get them into a running thing or something athletic and they are slow as hell. All right? And that's why they develop lifting strength, but they don't develop athletic strength. And that's the difference. That's why there's a famous video of Eddie Hall, the world's strongest man in 2017. Trying all the throwing events, and he sucked at them. Even though he's deadlifted over 500 kilos, I throw further than him, and there are women in the sport that are way stronger than me. All right, but I throw way further than them. Granted, because I know how to throw. But even that, like someone who is as strong as him, just doesn't have the right type of strength to throw far and to do athletic things. I bet you I could probably beat him in a 100-meter race as well. Granted, he's got 200 pounds on me, but still, someone that strong theoretically should be able to move very well in sports. All right, but it's two completely different types of strengths. All right, so as throwers, and I'm just going to speak more to throwers, but this includes all athletes really. You see the best throwers, they do bodyweight stuff all the time. All right, now they may not post it on Instagram and stuff because it's not cool. Nobody wants to watch Ryan Krauser do push-ups. They want to watch him squat like 1,000 pounds or something, or whatever he squats. But they do it a lot, all right? So the reason why you want to have body weight strength with weight room strength is because the body weight strength allows you to actually put your weight room strength into your body, basically, all right? So if you can do push-ups really explosively, you can do a bunch of body weight squats. If you can do pull-ups, you can just do a bunch of body weight stuff, just any body weight stuff, body weight lunges. All right? That's what gets you to that next level, really. All right? Because there's a certain point, you're really strong, and I've seen it. I've had teammates that are, basically all my teammates have always been way stronger than me. But I've thrown further than a lot of them, for the simple fact that I can move my body better than them. You hear people sometimes say oh wow, he moves his body better than this person and stuff. Part of it is the body weight stuff that they do in the weight room and body weight exercises. All right? And that's why it's super important, because even if you're weak in the weight room, you can still throw really far if you're really good at body weight exercises. All right? Now, don't get me wrong, you need to be strong to throw far in the weight room, all right? There's no really getting around that. You need to be strong, all right? You need to have a certain amount of strength, a certain squat, a certain bench, a certain whatever, clean snatch, whatever, to actually throw far, all right? Don't get me wrong. But if you want to get to that next level, you need to have that body weight strength, all right? And another thing that's body weight strength is core. All right. So you want to do weighted core and just regular core. Like planks and crunches and sit-ups and you know Russian twists and just stuff like that. Because the core is also probably the most important muscles of your body. All right, because if you have a weak core, you will not be able to squat a lot. You will not be able to deadlift a lot. You will not be able to clean and snatch a lot. You won't be able to bench a lot. And people may think that the core is not involved in that, but it is. And you won't be able to do any overhead stuff. You won't be able to lift anything really that heavy because the core is the stabilizing factor of your spine. And your spine, basically, you use your spine in any lift. All right? Any. I don't care what lift it is. I can't think of one lift that you do not use your spine to some capacity in. All right? So that's why that's number 3 of why body weight exercises are so important, is because they help you build your core as well. And, that's just by doing core. All right? And then the 4th reason why is people don't think of this as a body weight exercise, but I consider it because you're moving your body, is sprinting. All right? Sprinting, I think, is very overlooked. And I'm not saying a thrower really shouldn't have to do anything over 100 meters, to be quite real with you, for running, because past 100 meters, really, you're not really developing your fast twitch muscle fibers. And I think the optimal strength, like the sprint length that you should run, is maybe like 20 to 50 meters if you're a thrower. One, because throwers are usually heavier than sprinters, so it's a lot of more pressure on the joints because there's a lot more weight on them in your knees and your ankles. All right? But sprinting, one, teaches you coordination. All right? That's why throwers should also be really elite at A skips and B skips. All right? And I might make a video. Well, actually, I don't need to make a video on how to do an A and B skip. You can just look it up. Noah Lyles has a good video of how to do A skip and B skips. But an important thing to take away for throwers is when you do those drills, and if you don't know what they are, just look them up online. I'm too lazy right now to demonstrate them. But as you put your foot down, you need to put it down hard. Fast movement. All right? Because that's going to get you pushing into the ground. And pushing into the ground is what creates that force when you throw and when you sprint. All right? If you don't have the capacity to push into the ground with your foot, and that doesn't translate. Wait, what? No, sorry. Whoa. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Let me re-explain that. If your body doesn't know how to push into the ground really quick and develop force really quick in short, fast movements, then you probably won't throw far. And that's why short sprinting is very important, because it teaches, and it's correct sprinting. It's good sprinting form. It's not just like waddling like a lot of throwers do, And I'm not here to tell you, because I'm not a sprints coach. And if anybody's ever had the displeasure of seeing me run, one, I'm sorry, because nobody wants to see that. But two, throwers usually don't have the best running form because it takes time. But you need to have good enough form where, at least in your lower body, where you can develop ground force reaction time. All right? So body weight exercises also help you feel yourself generating force, all right, into the ground. And that's why like plyometrics and stuff is also, I consider, body weight exercises. And what I mean by that is doing like continuous broad jumps and like hurdle jumps and just like single leg jumps and just stuff like that. Those are so important. One, because they teach you coordination, and it's good to do like continuous jumping stuff, because that's what teaches you coordination. And it teaches you how to get off the ground super fast and apply force super fast, because that's what you do in the throw. people say like be grounded a really long time in the throw, but when you actually think about it, you're not actually like the throw really happens in like maybe a second when you really think about it. Really, like you're combining the speed of like the force that generated like a 100-meter sprint in the span of like a 7-foot or 8-foot circle. All right, and you need to be able to get off the ground quick. You need to be able to apply force quick into the ground, and that's what bodyweight stuff does. All right, so that's why I think sprinting is super important. But don't really do anything over like 50 meters because after that it doesn't really do anything. And because if you just tell a thrower go sprint, they get all ooh. But like running is very important. At the end of the day, throwers are athletes, and actually some of the best athletes on the world. And I think it's actually very underrated how athletic a thrower needs to be. They need to be probably the most all-around athletes in any sport, because you need to be fast, strong, mobile, flexible, explosive, fast twitch, have muscular endurance, have weight room, super strong weight room numbers, and are able to like be at like 260 pounds unless you're a jab thrower, and be able to move that fast and that quick and generate that much force into an implement that's like 16 pounds or 2 kilos or whatever you're throwing. All right, so you need to be super duper athletic to throw. All right, and that's a throw like really far, like to be like a world-class athlete. I've seen people, well, you do need to have a certain amount of athleticism to throw far, and athleticism isn't just like running fast or jumping high and stuff. It's also like hand-eye coordination and being able to move, put force into the ground really hard and really fast. All right, it's so many different things that make up athleticism, and this isn't a kinesiology lecture about athleticism, because you guys don't want to sit through that. But these reasons are why bodyweight exercise is so important. So to recap, you need bodyweight exercise important, one, for just joint health and strength, 2, to build a good core, right? Oh no, yeah, sorry, no. 2 was how to move your body, like moving your body. 3, core. 4, sprinting. And then 5 is, I know like in throwing, you're technically not moving your body, like you're moving an implement, but you are moving your body. I mean, really, like the implement compared to your body doesn't weigh anything. Like 16 pounds, like I weigh like maybe 262. I think is like the last time I weighed myself. Like 16-pound ball to someone my size, and I'm considered very small for a shot putter. That's really nothing. So really, you are moving your body. I know you're technically moving the shot put, but you need to be able to move your body fast. All right, you need to be able to move your body explosively and all that, and that's why. And also, going back to the sprinting strengthens your hip flexors and your groin. All right, especially your hip flexors and your glutes. And if you don't know what those muscles are, they're the muscles like. I'm not gonna stand up and show you, but just look them. Just look up online what hip flexors and glutes are if you don't know what those are. But they're the prime drivers of sprinting. And there is a sprint phase in the throw out the back, and if you're like throwing disc and shot, and you need to have strong hip flexors and glutes to throw hammer, and especially if you're a jab thrower, you're basically a sprinter. So this video especially is very important to jab throwers, because you need to have a bunch of bodyweight stuff. You need to do a bunch of bodyweight exercises, because bodyweight exercises also help you in mobility because they strengthen your joints. All right, so that's also a thing as well. And that's also why bodyweight exercise is very important, because they keep your ranges of motion in check. Because if you only just lift weights, you're going to tend to be super tense, because especially if you don't stretch. So bodyweight exercises help you stay a little looser and a little more athletic. So that's another important thing. But going back to the hip flexors and the glutes, your hip flexors are basically what's driving your hips, and your glutes are basically what's driving your hips in the throw and the finish and in the middle and out the back. So if those aren't healthy, and they're all, especially your hip flexors and your groin, are very small muscles. They're not big. They're not like your hamstrings and quads that can take a lot of tension and a lot of beating up. But the reason why you want healthy hip flexors and groins is because when you're throwing, you put your body in really weird positions that normal athletes don't put themselves in. There aren't very many rotational sports. And when you rotate, you're putting pressure on your groin and your hip flexors. All right? So those need to be super strong, and there aren't many like lifts that you can do really that target those. And that's why body weight movements are super helpful, and that's why plyometrics and sprinting is super helpful as well, because they strengthen your hip flexors and your groin and allow your body and those muscles to take a lot more tension and a lot more beating up. All right, so that's why that's super important as well. All right, so I think that you can plan. You don't need to sprint every day or do all that. Usually you do like the sprinting and stuff, and all. Just include that in your conditioning in the off season. You shouldn't. Well, like you can do short sprints and stuff as like a pre-meet thing. That's like a whole different kind of video about when to sprint. Just know you should. Generally in the off season and maybe closer to when you're peaking. All right, or if you're supposed to be feeling really fast in season, but you feel really sluggish for some reason, but also that might be because you're lifting wrong, or you're just not eating right. But yeah, short sprints are really good. Plyometrics you can do all year round, really. I wouldn't recommend doing that in every single lifting block, but generally, like your off-season conditioning should probably be like short sprints and then like plyometrics and like jumping and stuff. All right, and it doesn't need to be super intense, because I mean we don't need to be cross-country runners. Let's be real here. Like you don't need to run miles, and actually like doing a bunch of like stuff like that will actually inhibit you to throw far, because then you're going to be gaining type 2 muscle fibers instead of type 1 muscle fibers. So type 2 muscle fibers are like your muscular endurance ones, and that's those like cross-country runners and like cross-country skiers and like Tour de France people, like bikers. They have super good muscular endurance or type 2 muscle fibers. So when you do like a warm-up as a thrower, maybe just jog like a lap of the track or something if you have access to a track, and then do like a dynamic warm-up like A skip, B skip. And you want to try not to do like a bunch of unless you're a jab thrower, a ton of like static stretching really, because that will loosen up your muscles, and you want the muscles to be somewhat tight, because that's what creates explosiveness. Now you don't want to be too tight that you hurt yourself. So, but you want to do like high knees, A skip, B skip, butt kickers, like side skips, like lunges and like body weight squats and push-ups, and then like at the end include like some type of like some continuous broad jumps, or just like jumping up in the air a couple times, just something like that, and that will usually be a good warm-up. But you can do your own warm-up, whatever gets you warm. I don't know why I just went on a tangent how to warm up. But basically like body weight, to get back to the actual subject of this video, because I'm weird. Body weight exercises, it's a must for throwers, all right? You need to do body weight stuff, all right? So that's something to keep in mind when you train, and yeah, pretty much it's a must. If you find your knees and your ankles and your wrists and your elbows are always hurting, probably because you're not doing enough body weight stuff. All right? So keep that in mind. And yeah, hope you guys learned something. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And other than that, see y'all later.